CFL Combine one-on-one with Ottawa Redblacks General Manager Shawn Burke. Free agency, the dust has settled, but you got Shaq Evans on a value deal. How did that contract and signing come in place?
Well, a big piece of credit goes to Coach Travis Moore and just his reputation and having worked with Shaq in Saskatchewan. And, we had told Shaq, go through the process and see what happens and, use the full extent of time. The reality was when we talked to him at the start, our offer was going to be sort of what it was, and he needed to go out and see it. But he really wanted to be a Red Black. He loved hearing what Coach Dice had to say, what Kahari had to say, and obviously what Travis had to say. So getting to know Shaq a little better, I met him in person at Waterloo because he's part of the internship program, and just excited to have him join our club and bring a veteran presence to our club. Obviously a California kid. We have a California quarterback, so there's a connection there as well.
You get him on a value deal that's under $100,000 in guaranteed money, and Shaq has shown when he's at the top of his game, he can be a vertical threat and one of the best receivers in the league. He's had some injury issues though, but what do you see in terms of his upside with the Red Blacks?
Yeah, just compete level that he's shown in this league, the production he's shown in this league, the threat you talked about, the deep threat that he can be. And he's a professional. The reality is he's drafted in the NFL, played in the NFL, and has had successful seasons here. And, in terms of the injury, that's how a lot of guys get up to our league or have to change teams in our league. And you often see it work out, and sometimes it doesn't. So we're excited to get a healthy Shaq in the building, see how he does at training camp, and take it from there.
I'm sure you're excited to get a healthy Jeremiah Masoli in the building. You mentioned your California quarterback. What's his offseason been like? How often have you been in touch with him?
See him a lot because he's been in the Ottawa area for the most part from New Year's on. So he's been up working with receivers on the field, in the gym. Looks excellent, great frame of mind. Excited to see him compete at training camp from day one of training camp. So I know he's fired up. He's obviously had a long time off, and he just loves our community, loves the organization, and loves his teammates, and just wants to get on the field and ride with them.
How happy was he to get a guy like Shaq Evans in his receiving corps?
Definitely text me after. It's not one of those things where, you let guys know on your team what you're doing beforehand. Sometimes you involve them in recruiting, but for Shaq, Travis was a big part of the recruitment, so I didn't need to rely on the players. So he definitely hit me up with a text and said, "Oh, you got Evans?" So he's excited. I know they've been talking. Jeremiah's great. As soon as we add someone to the team, be it offense or defense, of a guy that he's known or played against, of reaching out and just being that touch point as a leader of the organization.
You were able to re-sign Lorenzo Mauldin, who might have been the biggest pending free agent that you had on your list. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what were those conversations like? Because last time we spoke at the winter meetings, I think they were in process, but now the deal's done.
Yeah, I think last time we spoke, it might have got done right when I got back. So, I got back from the league meetings, and I had stressed Lorenzo through the process that I thought it was important to have him done before free agency, and we sort of just had a straightforward conversation of how do we get here today, that this is our last phone call about this. And, we exchanged some ideas, and it got done very quickly. I probably had worried the coaching staff a bit, saying prepare for the worst, that he could get the free agency. And then, players often say things, and sometimes it's about following through on them. And Lorenzo made it known that he wanted to be back in Ottawa, and he showed that by committing well before free agency and setting the table for the rest of the guys.
Thanks for the time, Shawn. Appreciate it.